This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Sierra Madre Playhouse for their presentation of Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Christian Durso. I grew up in Los Angeles. I lived in New York for a while. I studied in the University of San Diego, and I've been living in Los Angeles for the last few years and doing Shakespeare regional, and I'm a screenwriter as well. I played Tom. Tom is a poet. He is trapped, and he needs to get out of the situation he's in, but he desperately loves his sister, and so he has a big conflict within him.
This is actually a semi-autobiographical of Tennessee Williams. What are your thoughts on Tennessee Williams?
He's an extraordinary playwright. He's an incredible poet. Yeah, we were lucky to have him as in the American theater, and he lived a very difficult life, but he was able to make it shine through with his plays.
Do you think, as an artist, do you feel like you have to get out? It's like, you're being stifled. You have a job. You don't want to be a waiter or a shoe salesman or something like that. But your parents also saying, "Hey, come on, you got to grow up here." What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Tom's situation in the play is a little bit different from, I think, some of the modern artists today who just don't want to wait tables and get a normal job. He was in a depression, and he had no option under his mother's rule at the house other than to work this terrible job, which earned him nothing, and he had zero future. And he was living in a small, cramped apartment with his mother and with his sister. And I don't think most people who have waiting tables jobs and want to be actors are in that situation, living in a very small apartment with their mother. So it's a little bit different just because of the time period, but I do think there is something there about wanting more, and it had more to do with him needing to get out of the house than it did, I think, needing to get out and see things as much. But because if he stayed there for any longer, he would have probably blown his brains out.
Also, we would have lost probably the greatest American playwright we had of our time if he would have worked a job as a shoe salesman.
It's true. We were very fortunate that he was able to apply his trade and to follow his art, and that he was able to get out of his very difficult home situation and find his voice as a writer. Very lucky.
All right, well, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Catherine James. I started acting when I was 5 years old. I'm now 64. So been a very long time in doing this. My granddaughter actually is just about the age that I was when I started acting. So it's been a long road, my dear. Everything from Aeschylus to Williams, I put it in the program, and it's absolutely true.
And which character did you play?
Amanda Wingfield. I think that Amanda is one of the most misunderstood characters in this extraordinary iconic play. She is not a harridan, and she's not mean, and she's not crazy, and mostly she's not the antagonist of the play, which is how she's usually played. She is in love with her children. She is struggling very hard, and she's struggling against the Depression. And the Great Depression, not everybody got out of that alive. And we watch her struggling to try to keep this family alive and keep them going forward. And she's not going to be able to do that by the end, but that's the struggle. That's how I see her.
Yeah, I loved your performance. I think you did it perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love the way you played Amanda because, in a sense, she was not only the parent of a special needs child.
Yeah.
She was also a single parent. Her husband just left her. She raised 2 children. One of her children, because it was based on Tennessee, would grow up to be the greatest American playwright of our time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's certainly how he saw himself. He really got it about himself. He started out as a poet and then fell in love with the theater. And this play is a part of that initial falling in love with the theater. And he really felt he got it right twice. He felt Streetcar he got it right with, and this one he got it right. So that's why everybody needs to see this show. I mean, it's such an extraordinary piece of theater, I think. When he starts the lines, I'm standing backstage, and he says, "I've got tricks in my pocket, I've got things up my sleeve," and I just fall in love all over again. Such a beautiful play.
Yeah, it's just a different light if you think of it that way, because some people think, "Oh, this kid, he just wants to get out of the house." But it's different if you're the greatest American playwright ever and you know it. Then you realize there's something in me, a story that just has to be told.
Yeah, let's also remember, don't forget, this guy is in the midst of the Great Depression. and he is going down for the third time. There are 3 people in this household, and only one is getting out alive. It's like that thing they used to say to you in the 6th grade. What if you were on a desert island and you could only save 2 of you and everybody else had to die? What would you do? That was what the Depression was like. And we forget that. People don't understand how oppressive not just this life was, but he was going to die if he didn't escape. He was going to die, not just as an artist, but physically. They were not going to make it. One had to survive, and he did.
Once again, I really loved your performance. I love the performance of all the actors tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, and thank you so much for the interview. Appreciate it.
Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie will be playing at the Sierra Madre Playhouse from May 6th to June 19th. For more information, go to www.sierramadreplayhouse.org.